Since time immemorial, humans have waged war. Some scholars believe these wars are started over limited resources, religions, or possibly the rule of threes. Two comics from Houston, Texas believe that all strife comes from one group of people looking at another group of people and thinking, that group's hats are silly, and I hate them. Welcome to Silly Hats, a history podcast, with your hosts Will Loden and Nick Palermo.
Welcome to Silly Hats. We're your hosts. That's Will Loden.
And over there's Nick Palermo.
And we basically think that every human conflict boils down to one group of people looking at another group of people and thinking, hey, those hats are dumb and we should take their stuff. And so we prove it with this podcast.
Yep, and we got some pretty dumb hats today.
Yeah, who we talking today?
We're talking the Yellow Turban Rebellion of 184. Wow, I'm already fucking up. Let's do this. All right.
Hell yeah.
Hey, woo. All right. Yeah, it's 184.
The year 184?
The year 184. Yeah. And
old school.
Old school. This is in China. So I'm not going to try to say it like Trump, but I am going to
Please, for the love of God, do not.
I'm going to mispronounce a lot of names in this one. So this is the Yellow Turban Rebellion against the Han Empire. The Han Empire is one of China's first empires. It's the second one after the Qin Empire, which is where you get China from Quina. They were
where you get quins, like writing.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, that's
nice.
quills.
Quills.
Quills is different. But
I'm dumb.
No, it's all good. A little background on the Han. They were super duper organized and bureaucratic. They had this weird they were very, very organized, very bureaucratic. Their emperor at the time, his name was Han Li, I believe, and the people that he trusted is called the Ten Eunuchs. Even though there were 12 of them, but yeah, they had no
real eunuchs.
Real eunuchs. They cut
well,
off.
I guess you can trust them because what else do they got to focus on? they got nothing to think about. I don't fucking know. I'll read or do math. I don't fucking know.
Exactly. But in northern China, there were a bunch of floods and famines in 183, and it wiped out the Yellow River, and so everyone was starving, and so a lot of these northern Chinese folks moved further south. And they had to work on bigger farms for people and not get paid. And then the tax man came and tried to take all of their stuff. So they became outlaws and things like that. And there was this guy named Zhang Zhao.
Okay.
Now Zhang Zhao apparently went to a cave one day and found a couple of Taoist scriptures.
As one does.
Yeah, that he figured out how to heal people.
Oh, so he's like their Joseph Smith.
Yes, well, something like Joseph Smith. A little Protestant. He would
a little more believable.
Yeah, he would make people confess their sins and then heal them, like he would hit them and heal them and stuff like that. But it seemed to work.
It still works on TV to this
day. It's still and
Jerry Falwell or something. I don't know.
He R.I.P. But his baby boy's doing it over there at Liberty University.
He's like the hammer. He's passing it down.
There you go. Exactly. And he he started this thing. He thought that because the emperor was hanging out with a bunch of eunuchs, and because of all the floods and the famines.
What's with the eunuchs?
They don't have balls, so I think people don't trust them.
But why are there so many eunuchs?
Because a lot of different cultures historically used eunuchs because they thought that if you couldn't fuck my daughter, then you wouldn't want to rise up or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
You would think that would also go the other way. I'm so furious you cut my fucking balls off.
Yeah. No, that's exactly the thing. Is there's this and Romans had problems with eunuchs. Like in the Byzantine Empire, there was these. There's
Problems with eunuchs would be a good band name.
That would be a good jam band.
I feel like they'd tour with Devo.
Problems. Yeah. We opened for Devo
in '83. It was pretty
exactly.
cool.
There's this thing culturally, for some reason, as eunuchs are perceived as like sneaky or something, or like up to no good.
I think the people that cut their dicks off are more sneaky and up to no good. If I were to just have to assign one
To one group of people, it's the dick cutters,
who's
not
the
the dick cutties.
who's the sneakiest? I'm cutting off dicks in the night, I'd imagine. I don't imagine that a daytime activity. They're like the repo man. You really got to creep up.
Yeah.
It's always been a dangerous job being a repo guy.
You know, I don't know. Since I got this job cutting dicks off, I was like, I've had to change my sleep schedule.
I'm just kind of bummed.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of bummed.
It's not what I saw myself doing when I was a young man. I can't even say man to them anymore. But
why do I do this?
Exactly. Just, the dick cutter having an existential crisis.
Another long day, honey.
I want to have a slide whistle right now for that.
God damn it, Sharon. It's funny the first like 10 times.
So anyway, he came up with Zhang Zhu. He had a little brother named Zhang Zhui had a little brother named Zhang Bao and another little brother named Zhang Liang, and they came up with a plan. They were talking to all these peasants all over these different provinces in central China, and they were like, "The emperor has lost the mandate of heaven. We're gonna rise up in next year in 185."
Yeah,
But-
you gotta just have some time for some planning.
But one of those eunuchs found out and told the emperor.
Fucking snitch ass eunuch.
Sneaky ass.
You really have no balls, you piece of shit.
told the emperor. And so the way that these people who listened to Zhang Zhu's sect, they would put on yellow. It was either yellow turbans or yellow scarves, whatever they could afford to show. Like yellow. That was. They were Latin kings.
That was their
That's what
colors,
that's what they were repping. And so a bunch of people got murdered. Like a bunch of the yellow turbans got murdered, and then
You're gonna have to retaliate.
but yeah, no, but look, see, like the thing about such a top-heavy style of like, I'm just inadvertently making dick jokes. The thing about such a top-heavy style.
That's funny. I didn't think that, but
Yeah.
good, solid. That
But,
also wasn't
like,
one.
Yeah. So there are so many more peasants than there were like, you know, like soldiers or bureaucrats or everything like that they just rose up and just started murdering everyone.
Which they could always do in every
Right.
country at all
Yeah,
points of time.
exactly.
That's what they're trying to keep down.
That's what that's what they're trying to keep down. But then so like 400,000 peasants come up and they call Zhang Zhu Lord General of Heaven. And they call his brother Zhang Bao.
I love how they think like in heaven there's ranks like
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
I'm the general of heaven. Oh, I'm only a private.
Right, exactly.
I only get to fuck one
I'm
angel.
only a private for eternity. Man, there's not a lot of room for promotion.
There's a bunch of Gomer piles.
Yeah.
Tripping and shit.
His brother Zhang Bao became Lord General of Earth, and his brother Zhang Liang became Lord General of the People.
Those are like Klansman titles.
Exactly.
The Grand Wizard of blah blah blah. Fucking nerd.
Exactly. So what happens is the Han Emperor he starts calling on all of the warlords around the country. It's like, yo, you got to come help us out.
Calling up the different sets.
Yeah, dude, calling up all the cliques. You got to call up all the cliques and so roughly by like 2 months in to 184, there are like 5 million Chinese peasants roaming the country, burning stuff to the ground. These warlords come in. Oh God.
If this would have all happened in 187, that'd been ironic, I think.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to say a couple of names, and this is gonna be hard. So
No matter how you say it, it's going to sound disrespectful.
yeah.
You're not trying to be. I know it.
So there are a couple of battles like the three brothers split up and start running their own armies. All right.
Smart.
This guy Hong Fu Song fucking smacks down Lord General of the Earth. Zhang Bao.
I thought you had God on your side, bud.
That's always the trick, isn't it? Is sometimes it doesn't work like that. Zhang Zhu is doing pretty well, messing around. And I gotta say these names are gonna be the hardest.
You did good, bud. You're doing good.
All right, thanks. Thanks,
It's all about
Nick.
encouragement, man.
Thanks, Nick.
You can do it. I believe in you.
Yeah. Zhang, Lord General of the People, Zhang Liang, he fights against this young officer named Cao Cao. Cao Cao whoops that ass.
Sounds like a sauce.
Yeah. Well, it's spelled CAO. And you want to know the one reason that I know a lot of these people is because I had a video game in 3rd grade called Dynasty Warriors that literally, like...
A lot of your history knowledge is video game related.
It is. It really, like that
I'm
really...
starting to rethink how much of an expert you are.
Exactly. Well, you already know my credits, so like, but you get to fight. You get to fight Cao Cao. Cao Cao beats him. This happened.
Cao Cao also sounds like a Cher cover band. I'm Xiao Xiao.
I'm Cao Cao.
It's one name, like Cher, but it's different. Starts with a C, though.
It's a hyphen. Yeah.
I have a boa.
Exactly. The Han Emperor, he keeps giving power to these different warlords. All right? And these warlords, as there ought to do, keep taking the power. So one of the warlords... Yeah, they kill a eunuch. Because actually they...
Give them a minute. They take 6s.
The theme of today's show.
Fucking dumbass dick jokes. We're fucking children.
Yeah,
I feel bad for us.
Oh, man. Oh, it's funny, though. Just this war only lasts a year, and we've only heard about it through a lot of different, like, romantic stories. So there's this one book that was written in the 12th century in China called Romance of the Three Kingdoms, which describes the Yellow Turban Rebellion as the beginning of the end of the Han Empire. So, like, these people, Cao Cao ends up taking over most of China. Hong Fusong finds Zhang Jui, and this is a big battle. Like this is like battles that like only China could have at that time. Like the numbers are astronomical, you know, where like it's like while Rome was fighting, like we had 20,000 troops, and like China's like we had 500,000 troops.
Like, this is why you can only have one boy.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is hundreds of years later, thousands.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
they're like got all these rivers, got all this rice. Like we have so many people. Like yeah.
It's 2021. They're just talking about like we're gonna relax it a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
We're talking about 183.
Yeah, we're talking about 183, and they're like 500. That like a small Chinese city was bigger than anything else in the world. Like at the time, like China's always been able to like.
They're like, bro, stop fucking, yeah. Jesus.
They're like, no.
Yeah,
it's the mandate of heaven. Which is actually, I think that's a fascinating term. I just because like we have the divine right of kings in the West, and in China they have the mandate of heaven, and it's the same thing, just from totally different groups of people doing like it's the mandate of heaven's fascinating though, because if something goes bad, it's just like, oh, God's mad at you, like we can kill you now, you know, like there was one famine and like a flood, and now it's just like, probably because you hang out with all these eunuchs.
And I also love how every religion does it. It's like, it's very like contractual language, you know? but like, I thought this was God and stuff.
Right.
Like, why is he writing like a legal scholar?
Right.
What is this?
Well, in Zhang Zhu, he started a religion, a Taoist sect called the Way of Peace. You want to know how I do peace?
Math. What?
I do
guns and knives.
I do peace by getting 4 million people to rise up and start murdering all the people I don't like.
Well, there's this. It reminds me of this quote from the start of this Sean Price song. He goes, "Now, if you want to stop the violence, you look at somebody that's violent, and then you hit them with a baseball bat. And now, obviously, the violence is gonna stop." So it's sort of that.
That's exactly it. That's exactly what in essence happened.
Yeah.
And so and once again, like we tell all these stories that usually happen like over the span of years. It's like, no, the Chinese, I'm just fascinated. Like the Han Empire, like they had 4,000 people rise up against them, and they're like, all right, well, we better raise 4 million people rise up against them, and they're like, all right, well, we better raise 2 million people to fight them, and we'll give them better swords. And you're like, it's like 6 million people.
Yeah,
that's like
a staggering number. It's
like,
Houston fighting.
Yeah, exactly. yeah. Like we'll get the entire city of Houston to murder each other
with
like,
old timey weapons.
Yeah. That sounds like work. Oh God. Yeah.
There's gonna be so many slow deaths. Like,
Dude,
these swords aren't sharp.
No. It got dulled on the 50th guy.
His bones really dulled up my sword.
Yeah, exactly. Really, yeah.
Yeah, you want to be the first killed. You're like, when that bitch is nice and sharp, I saw you sharpening it.
Exactly.
Stab me now.
Thank God, just right at the neck.
Nice clean cut.
Thanks, buddy.
It's already going dark.
I'm gonna go be a bureaucrat in heaven. So like once again, this is after. So Hong Fusong and Cao Cao, they're able to link up their armies, and they get to Zhang Jie and Zhang Liang, and it's like a 5-day rumble, all right, and beautifully written about how so much murder was going on.
There's sonnets about it.
Yeah, exactly. Zhang Zhu, because he was so powerful with heaven, he was able to control the wind, apparently.
Oh, obviously.
Yeah. He was obviously able to control the wind for 2 days.
Why did he always win? I mean, this is so stupid to believe both things. Like, oh, you got God on your side, but also we lose sometimes.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
What is this? You can control wind, but you didn't want to make it rain real hard too,
exactly.
or something?
Yeah. How about why didn't you fix that famine, asshole? I thought we were the way of peace.
God, I mean, Jesus did the bread thing. What do you got?
Yeah. Exactly.
You got nothing?
Nothing. So millions of people. Zhang Zhu apparently dies of an illness before the last day of the battle, and his followers secretly bury him. Luckily, Hong Fusong finds him and decapitates him, and then after he's dead, and then does terrible things to his body. Unspeakable. I love how I was making dick jokes, and now I'm like, unspeakable.
Dick was cut off, and anyway.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They probably eunuched his body, and
you don't want ever to have that used as a verb for you. You got eunuch. Jesus. That also is flowery language for what it is.
Exactly. Hey, man, if I catch you selling drugs on this corner again, I'll eunuch you.
You're getting eunuched.
Yeah. Better keep your shooters around you, you know what I'm saying?
It's old school shooters just eunuching people.
Yeah. And so after Zhang Zhu dies, Zhang Zhu dies, Zhang Liang is also killed. So the three brothers who started this whole thing, heaven, earth, and of the people, they all get killed. Most of their followers are just murdered.
Let me ask. Did God appoint a second in command, or
and a third? And they
but just those three, right?
Just those three.
God didn't mention anything beyond them.
No, God didn't mention anything beyond the brothers.
So God's like, they'll live forever. So God was wrong again, is what they're positing.
I like to imagine that God was sitting there like he was looking at the pony track and just ripped up the ticket and was just like, I can't believe I gambled. Can't believe I gave them those books in that cave that one time.
Why do I always lose? I'm God. You think I'd be able to guess this stuff?
How I gotta pay my rent tonight?
Anyway, I created everything.
Yeah.
Both those things are true.
Yeah, and so they scatter everyone. The Han Emperor, he's trying. He's like, all right, hey, warlords. Thanks for coming out and fighting for me. I know I gave y'all all this stuff, like lands and he couldn't raise his own private armies, his own like big government. So he made all of his guys raise their own armies.
Blackwater situation.
Yeah. A little like that. Yeah. He just passed the buck on, like.
Contractors.
Right, but imagine this time if the contractor, he was like, all right, hey guys, can y'all disperse and like go back to farming, and the contractor's like, Nah, dog.
Yeah. It's bonkers to me how many people trust what they call warlord. You know? Warlord is the title of you, and I think you're just gonna be a rational actor.
Exactly.
It's fucking insane.
So it's like, oh, hey, thank you, big warlords. Go back to your own provinces with your now well-trained army and still give me all the money that I want.
Warlord. They're not like peace princesses. They're called warlords. Fucking idiots. Every one of these stories is like, well, the warlord fucked him over. No shit.
Exactly. Exactly. There's this one guy, Dong Zhuo, who and he literally fights for the emperor, then literally goes home and is like, all right, I'm not paying for shit anymore. And a bunch of guys who fought for the Yellow Turbans. So Dong Zhuo fought for the emperor, then he went home, and a bunch of these guys who used to fight for the Yellow Turbans like, hey, we've still got spears. He goes, what's up, dudes?
Hey.
You know, like, yeah, now he has a giant army.
I guarantee you there's still people to kill.
Yeah, exactly. No. So like he's got this giant army chilling in the west. A bunch of the Yellow Turbans decided to go become thieves in the south, and they called themselves the White Wave Bandits. I don't know what it is with
that sounds like the wet bandits from Home Alone. That sounds like what they called themselves.
Yeah, well they became pirates, and so they were like, we're the White Wave Bandits.
Fucking nerds.
Did they just like? I guess they just like bleach their turbans, and they're like, "All right, new color scheme." Clearly, it was a color issue.
And bandits, like
Yeah.
what is that? It just makes you sound childish. I'm a bandit.
Exactly. I take things.
Mm.
Robin Hood. He's the Prince of Thieves. Just,
He didn't call himself a bandit.
yeah. So yeah. So now with all these warlords dispersing after the Yellow, so it was these guys. You know, they put in yellow turbans. They fought. They lost. But now everyone's going home with freshly minted armies, knowing that the main empire, like emperor, can't do anything because he listens to eunuchs. You know, like you want
Those dickless idiots.
Yeah. You want to know what this would have happened if you had a set of balls.
A porn star cock could have made the situation so much better.
Exactly.
Yeah. Got him chopped up.
Should go with Lou Big Dick Boo or some shit like that. This literally the administration of in less than 10 years after the Yellow Turban Rebellion, the Han is done. The Han Empire is absolutely done, and there are 3 different kingdoms that grow out of that, and that starts the romance of the 3 kingdoms, or a warring states period. So I wanted you to know that information before we figured out who won.
Okay.
Right? It's like, and also, yeah, I haven't described how silly the Emperor's hat was. Have you? Like I showed you a picture earlier. I think
so,
we'll
yeah.
throw
Yeah.
dude it. All right, so it's conically shaped.
Mm-hmm.
It goes up about 4 inches off your head, and then it's just like a flat board on the top with like little beads coming down the front. And the
Yeah,
back.
they look like blinders on a horse. Like,
Yeah.
like, you got to focus on emperoring.
Focus on it.
Focus on genociding.
Focus on genocide.
don't get distracted by all these eunuchs.
Yeah.
It's gone poor in the past.
Yeah. Well, do you think that's why he surrounded himself with eunuchs? Is because he had weird? I don't want to be gay. So like,
That's just early it's early gay conversion therapy. Cut their dicks off so I don't got to look at them. Oh, they're sexy dicks.
yeah.
I think we've stumbled on something here. There's more philosophy.
Yeah. Exactly. But so yeah, who do you think won in this one?
Not the one with the eunuchs.
Right. The Han he ended up getting killed.
Yeah. I mean, both of them went away. Yeah.
Yeah, very very quickly. I like to think that Zhang Zhu had more fun. You know, thinking. You know,
That's a funny way to rank battles. You're like, but who like had a blast though?
Well, you know, before he got decapitated, you know, and all that stuff. Like he's faith healing. Like everyone wanted to like touch his
float in the river. They had a fun time.
Yeah. Yeah, he just he was faith healing, boofing, like trying to start conspiracies that didn't work. Like
Sounds like a good time.
got a lot of people killed.
Hell yeah, it sounds like just a cult leader. Just sounds like any old cult leader.
Yeah, exactly.
And they seem to have a blast with very little consequences, if any.
Until the end.
Yeah, but still, most of them just kind of die peacefully, or suicide themselves or whatever.
Yeah. They go.
Yeah. It's on their own terms.
Always.
They live and die on their own terms.
Always, yes.
Sometimes they want to be termed out by a federal fire.
Hashtag Waco.
Hashtag never forget.
There you go. Yeah, so, I don't know. I guess no one really won in that one. But, like, at the end of the day, they both had silly hats.
And lots of people died.
And lots of people died.
For nothing but
because
silly
of their
hats.
Yeah.
Yeah. This show just more and more of like how sad humanity is. Yeah, we're pieces of shit and always have been.
Yeah.
Never gonna change.
But goofy sometimes.
But buddy, we have fun.
Yeah. Really goofy hats. Yeah.
Buddy, but we can roast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. Literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
All
right. So that was the winner. No one.
right.
British guy. What's next?
And now it's time for
Hat word of the day. This is the hat word of the day.
It's the hat word of the day. That's how the jingle goes.
Yeah.
This is the hat word of the day.
It is the hat word of the day, but you made a fantastic jingle.
Right?
Just an aside about that jingle, because when you were talking to the woman who did it, like, she's not from this country, right?
German.
She's German, so she was hat word of the day.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, just working on. Do you know what a gorget is?
No, it sounds like a Mexican dish. It sounds like something that's dope. Like
Yeah,
it's got like
yeah.
a lot of cheese.
Right.
I'm a fan of cheese, so
Yeah,
it's like got a lot of cheese, and then it's covered in a cheese sauce.
Yeah. Well, it's a draped linen or silk cloth covering the neck and pinned up to the ears. That
I've never seen Star Wars, but I feel like it's Star Wars-ish.
I was actually going to, I wrote, when I wrote it down, I was like, it's like Princess Leia on Hoth, but then I said, he won't get that reference.
That's funny. That's how ubiquitous Star Wars is.
Exactly.
Fucking assholes. Never seen one, and I can make a reference.
A gorget, when Princess Leia was on Hoth, she wrapped up her face.
Okay,
and
I
back.
know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. So that's, it can also be tucked in at the neckline, and then it can be further known as a gyump. G-U-I-M-P.
Well, that's just funnier to say.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
just funner. That sounds like a cool shot.
Yeah.
Let me get a round of goomps.
Yeah, like a round of
Goomps.
goomps for the boys. We just had a really good night.
My brother at one point, he was ordering woo-woos just because he thought the name was hilarious. He's like, let me get a woo-woo. He's like, it's just funny to say. Like, it's a funny reason to drink something.
It's so funny. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, that's a gorget. We're just learning fun things
Hell
here.
yeah.
It originated roughly in the 13th, 14th, or 15th century. We don't really know. There have been arguments about a couple of places.
A lot of Gorgon arguments.
Oh, dude. You should see the forums.
There is forums dedicated to it, and it's
No,
just like, some dude's like, I can't wait to get off work to go argue more about a Gorgon.
Dude, yeah. A gorget. Dude, so, yeah, no, there are guys that get into debates on if a gorget, if it's connected to a brooch, if it counts as just a head covering piece. Dude, like, it gets heated. It gets heated on the internet, man. I'm telling
If you bring up that brooch shit again, I'm a eunuch you.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's our hat word of the day.
Hat word of the day, folks.
Mhm.
Hat word of the day.
Watch out, here they come, and they're coming fast. It's time for silly facts from the past. Silly facts from the past.
That's right, British guy. It's time for silly facts.
Hell yeah.
So we're doing silly facts. Not a lot of writing going on from
in one
in 180
yeah.
to 200.
They didn't have they didn't have a 4-figure number.
No.
yet.
They were still working it out. You know.
We don't know what we're gonna do after 999. We're fucked.
We're fucked. Was that
Probably
their
just
Y2K?
kill everybody.
Yeah, that was their Y2K and 999.
Yeah. The tablets are going to click over.
Right, yeah. So here are the fun facts that I found. A Greek physician named Galen, who's one of the main fathers of medicine, he explained how paralysis happens when you sever your spine. It took him thousands of years to figure that out.
And I bet he did a live demonstration. He's like, watch, see, now he can't walk.
Yeah, exactly. Check this out. Find a criminal. Find a criminal. I bet I can do this.
Or just one you don't like.
Yeah.
A commoner. Find a commoner or a criminal.
But yeah, this was in Greece, and yeah, so they
find someone wearing one color.
yeah.
First person wearing gray, grab him.
Right. Snag him up. The Archbishop of Alexandria, Clemente, it's probably not how this is, Alexandria in Egypt, he denounced using musical instruments while trying to sing about Christ. And so that's why the Catholics they have the choir boys and stuff.
Wow, that's why our church sucks?
Yeah.
That's why our church is fucking boring?
There was a guy in 18...
He's like, I don't like drums.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, the only thing that's pure enough to speak to God is the voice of a young man. And then they eunuched him.
No guitars in here.
No, yeah, exactly.
Blasphemous.
No guitars. That, of course.
What is that, a bass? Kill that guy.
Exactly. No drums either.
Yeah.
Of course, that was struck down in the early 90s by the alt-God movement.
1990.
Yeah, yes. We do have to be specific on this podcast.
It went a distance
Yeah.
of being just a fucking curmudgeon.
That took almost 2,000 years. Yeah.
To reverse.
To reverse that, yeah. Yeah, and then
a lot of appeals on that one.
A lot of appeals on that one. And then Clemodius, another philosopher.
Founder of chlamydia.
Yes, founder of chlamydia. He theorized that the moon glows off of a reflection of the sun and doesn't glow by itself. He was, of course,
killed.
Yes.
Killed as a heretic, I would imagine.
Yes, he was. He was immediately murdered.
Oh, man. What a fun race of humanity we are, right? That's different. Kill him.
Yeah.
Sounds wrong. Slaughter his
What's
family.
ivermectin?
His eyes are green. Kill him.
His eyes are green. Get him out of here.
Never seen him before. Don't want to see it again.
Don't like his hats. Don't like his eyes. Don't like how he talks.
Yeah, we're real judgmental people.
Real fun about it, though.
You just get real. You're creative with our cruelty.
Yeah. Some would say wanton.
Well, they say every kid's an artist.
Yeah.
They don't say about what.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. I feel like I should take this more seriously.
I don't.
Yeah, exactly. There we go.
I think we're good.
Yeah. All right.
Were them's the facts?
Them's the silly facts that I could find from the Times.
Them's the facts.
And now it's time for
Lidbits, 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 Lidbits.
This is where we make fun of hats.
This is Lidbits. This is where we make fun of the hats we've been talking about this episode. And our guests today are Micah Green and Radu Bondar.
Hello.
Hey. Well, that was weird. What the fuck were y'all doing?
Two of my favorite guys.
It's very loud. We're both dressed very loud. On this side of the
Dressed loud? Listen to how these children talk these days. These kids.
Over here, we're dressed to gather lumber.
Yeah, you guys look like Ron DeSantis' militia.
Yeah, so today we were talking about the Yellow Turban Rebellion. Yeah. Oh, wait. All right, don't get distracted by the people in the back. Today we're talking about the Yellow Turban Rebellion, and we have some of our favorite comics write some stuff about these images. So here's the stuff on my iPad. You said you wrote a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, the Yellow Turban Rebellion. These guys, the three main guys in this rebellion were Zhang Lu, Zhang Zhao, and Zhang Bao. Yeah. Who was their dad? Heavyweight champion of the world, Zhang Foreman?
Hey. Hey. Am I right? No, it was actually Triple H. I like that we don't set up what the Yellow Shit Rebellion was or why it happened.
We had a whole
They
show.
already talked about
Oh,
it.
that's yeah.
This is a
Y'all just
segment
do
of
the
the
shit
show.
on it.
You weren't listening this whole time?
Listen, I understand how editing works. So what I like about these guys is that they stand with Ukraine. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's probably the most important thing I've seen.
Yeah.
I was Googling, this is the end of the Han Dynasty, right? I heard one of their guys' name was Liu Bang.
Yeah.
Liu Bang.
Yes.
It's a pretty sick name.
The warrior poet.
Yeah, I didn't write any jokes.
Oh, you just
I was like, Liu Bang, come on, he bang.
you thought that one would write itself.
Do you think he's like related to Lou Bega?
I think
Is this
that
a 5,000-year dynasty?
I think that was that song that guy sang on American Idol, Lou Bang.
I remember she bang.
Also, the variants. I mean, you got just the yellow ribbons right here, but
Yeah.
the variants in these boys' hats is crazy.
Oh yeah, so the yellow signified the mandate of heaven had passed from the Han Dynasty to Zhang Bao, I believe.
Obviously.
And yes, because he had the mandate of heaven. So and the boy looked great in yellow. So
Hey,
you know.
Hey, speaking of the man, can we look at this picture of the fellow with the flat hat?
Oh yeah, we can scroll. yeah. All right, so this was actually the Han emperor at the time.
So imagine, this sexy fella asks you out for dinner, and he shows up with his own table. That would be a mandate from heaven. How about that?
This guy looks like he hands out diplomas at DeVry. The first DeVry, 5,000 years ago.
Right, that's how they shape their hats.
This hat, he actually just graduated from 20 colleges. That's how Asian he is. Do you think he ever has to put a coaster under his ass?
So he doesn't ruin a table? What do you
No. If he gets wobbly.
He folds a napkin.
He looks pretty wobbly.
It must be nice to just be able to reach up and grab a piece of gum.
You think he ever falls asleep and someone is playing a game of checkers on top of him?
What kind of checkers?
Come on. Come on!
Because historically the Yellow Turban Rebellion was kicked off because of a famine in northern China. Then all these people got hungry and mad. And it's funny because having an empty table on your head is kind of the fat guy equivalent to turning your pockets inside out.
Yeah.
Like, hey, no, I don't have any rice either. What are you
Not
talking about?
me.
Look at my head.
We're all out here. This is some dangerous shit we're doing. Is this going to be on TikTok? Because this is the Han Dynasty. This is the lineage to the Han ethnic group that populates China currently. So
Matt
this... we're Matt Han, R.I.P. Houston comedian that stopped doing comedy 8 years ago. But talking shit on these guys' hats is like talking shit on George Washington's blouse. Like, this is dangerous precedent that we're setting here.
Well, this is
Dude, I don't think they still wear this hat.
No, but I'm saying we're attacking people's mythology. This is the group that's directly correlated
No,
to the...
dude, it's fine because this isn't even a hat. This guy's just afraid of thunder.
Thunder is always something when it's raining, right?
He's just afraid of thunder.
Yeah.
It's adorable when you think of it that way.
It's funny.
What if is this the first hippie? Like, they wanted the bead curtains, but he's like, it's everywhere, man.
He is the porno section.
A lot of these guys in the Han Dynasty, a lot of the higher ups were eunuchs.
Yes.
Yeah,
They
we
were sneaky
And,
eunuchs. Yeah.
went into that a great deal.
Oh, who needs
Nothing surprising about that. That makes so much sense.
who needs balls when you look this cool? Look at this guy. Look at him.
You can have my balls if I can have that hat.
Hey, you know what I bet happened was he saw one of the ladies with the sushi on him, and he was like, I could be a sexy table, too. Why can't I be a sexy table?
Even the earliest version of Google Glass looked like shit. Just completely unusable.
Just unrealistic.
Also, I don't know if this applies. Are we sure any of these people are Chinese?
Yeah.
We're positive? Okay. All right.
Positive. Yeah.
Israeli. I stole your bit.
It's always his bit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Then these are also more emperors of the Han. That's a different style of hat, but I think we handled the table hat very very well.
Yeah, this is more gestury.
It's crazy to me that like any given moment they're like, well, I could have my craziest like Domino's delivery guy hat. I could have my graduation hat, or just a yellow ribbon will suffice. Like, honestly, whatever you have around, I can demonstrate my loyalty to this cause in a myriad of ways.
He's like
There's a big difference.
he's like Taoist Santa Claus. He just brings you wisdom. I don't know.
Yeah, like Jews can't do that. They can't be like, I don't have a yarmulke. This sock will do. Like, just anything.
Do you have a
that
bike?
area.
Do you have a tricycle?
See how I saved your shitty thing with my not that shitty thing? It wasn't good. It wasn't good.
You like how he says my not shitty?
But it wasn't that shitty.
I've been killing it this whole
Like
time.
this guy, like the Han
fucking
Dynasty.
murdering. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you got any more, big dog?
You know that guy with the table on his head?
Yeah.
I heard he was gonna get a better hat, but he decided to table it for later.
Do you know what actually? You could barely read about this. You could barely. But you know what crumbled the Han Dynasty?
Yeah.
PC culture. It was the woke mob. Yeah. That's why they built that fucking wall to keep the woke mob out.
The woke mob with the Mongolians.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Mongolians were very woke when they chopped everyone's head off a couple,
Do you
like
think
1,000 years
these
later.
guys called the Mongolians Mongoloids, or was that invented in Boston? Where did that word come?
Definitely the Boston Police Department.
Oh, thank you so much for doing this, guys.
Y'all
You
are
got any more, Mike,
fantastic.
for us? I know you have a question.
I know you're partial to the table guy.
Yeah, the beads on that table guy's hat. Those are just sweet tarts. That's just to keep him walking. Get his steps in for the day. I don't know.
I enjoyed it.
Micah, where can we
Thank you.
find you on social media?
You can find me on Instagram at Micah Green of Stage and Screen. That's MICAHOF. Whoa. MICAHGREENOFSSTAGEANDSCREEN. Micah Green of Stage and Screen.
Radu.
I do a weekly or a bi-weekly segment on the Alan Dershowitz podcast, also known as the Dershcast. So just look up Alan Dershowitz, and you'll find me.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank
really
y'all.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
And now it's time for our shout-outs. First off, shout-outs is where we throw it up to teachers, cool stuff. Like my shout-out today is Miss Pierce, my 8th grade English teacher.
Nice.
Hey, what's up, Miss Pierce? Thanks for not writing me citations, even though I was a real piece of shit in 8th grade. She was the only teacher that would never write me up for anything. So I knew, even though she yelled at me a lot, but that's just because she wanted me to be better as a person, and she knew I was already intention enough.
Oh.
So, hell yeah, Miss Pierce. I didn't know you were cool until after I was gone. But just know that I've gotten older and I've reflected, and you taught me the difference between the theirs, which I should have known by 8th grade. But
I learned those like 3 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, cool. That actually reminded me of one of my teachers, because I normally don't remember any of my teachers.
Yeah.
Shout out to Miss Sullivan. She was my English teacher. She hated me. She sent me to the office and got searched because she thought I was high. She was right. I was, but I didn't have anything on me.
Because I smoked it.
Yeah.
Ha!
But she was good. She cared. I was an asshole.
Yeah,
So she didn't
exactly.
like me. That's
Right.
very fair.
Dude, yeah, no, that's the same thing that I thought about Miss Pierce. So I was just like, I think she hates me. And then you look back and you're like, oh, I was an 8th grade asshole. Like,
How could she not have hated you? It's mind-boggling. Not everyone hated you. They don't just like trip students and shit. Like,
Right.
fuck you.
Right.
Piece of shit.
Yeah.
Why do you think you know everything at 13?
Why did you not wear a belt? Like, you put a shoelace in between your pants, Will. It's not that funny.
Bitch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right. And then I guess, we'll hear the last shout-outs. Shout-outs to everyone who listens to this. Which
Yes.
Is, yeah. Please hit the like and subscribe and all that
Yes,
stuff.
and you can follow Silly Hats Podcast, sillyhats.podcast.com.
And Instagram. Something like that. Yeah.
On Instagram, all the social medias.
Mhm.
Shout out to the Whiskey Brothers
Woo!
for having us at this beautiful studio and this beautiful network.
And
And
running the ones and twos and just taking care of us.
always, shout out to the Village Hat Shop of San Diego. Since 1980.
80.
Yeah. I think we're good with that. I think we're done. I think we're done now.
There we go. Cool.
Y'all have a good night. Or whatever.
That concludes this episode of Silly Hats. Thank you for tuning into our program. Created by Will Loden and Nick Palermo. Hosted by Will Loden and Nick Palermo. Researched by Will Loden. Audio and video editing by Nick Palermo. Video recording and additional video support, Slade Ham and Jerry Wayne Longmire. Brought to you by the Whiskey Brothers Network. Recorded at the Whiskey Brothers Studio. Featuring comedians Radu Bondar and Micah Green. Special thanks to the Houston Public Library and the Village Hat Shop of San Diego, California since 1980. Follow Silly Hats Podcast on all forms of social media at Silly Hats Podcast. For a full bibliography, follow us on Instagram. We'd like to especially thank the Whiskey Brothers for their support. Drink up, chaps.